Righty, we're just out cruising around at night time doing a bit of spotlighting, and we've come across this king brown snake on the road. Awesome stuff. Check him out, he's an awesome specimen. He's probably about 4 foot long, juvenile. And he'd be out cruising around at night time now, hunting, looking for reptiles and frogs. It's the hotter part of the season and it's hot at night time, and a lot of our venomous snakes will become nocturnal over the summer months. And then of course after the rains, we get a lot of frogs coming out as well. So these guys are primarily reptile specialists, but they'll also eat frogs as well. They love lizards and they'll eat other snakes. He's also quite happy to eat other venomous snakes like brown snakes, particularly the western brown out here. But this bloke is actually from the black snake family, Conservationist australis. Now brown snakes are from the Pseudonaja family, meaning false cobra. But this guy's venom, it has more hemotoxins rather than the neurotoxins that a lot of the brown snake family has. So he's from the black snake family, even though his name's the king brown. Now he's Australia's second largest species of venomous snake, growing to 2.5 metres. He's second only to the coastal taipan in size, and he's quite a common snake. But believe it or not, they're quite placid and they're very reluctant to bite, unless unfortunately you'd have one in a confined space where it can't move away from you. That's when they'll become more defensive and more bitey. But as you can see, he's just cruising around doing his own thing. He's not worried about trying to bite me or chase me or attack me or any of this sort of stuff. He's just cruising around out here in the bush doing his thing, and I'm a couple metres away from him and I have absolutely nothing to worry about. What a beauty. The king brown. Another name for him also is the mulga snake, because he lives in the mulga country, and we're actually surrounded by mulga trees right now, which is a species of acacia. There's another species as well, which is Pseudonaja butleri. Haha, awesome stuff. King brown snake, the mulga. Let's go and see what else we can find. Western brown, just cruising across the road. Hot night, it's too hot during the day. This is a brown colour phase. Highly alert snake, you can see. It's about 35 degrees at the moment, so he's definitely fired up. Definitely at the right temperature for hunting. And you can see he's a long, slender, fast moving snake. Oh, there he goes. As soon as I said fast moving, see that? Wow. There's also the mulga snake in this area, the king brown. And there's also a ringed brown. But this is the more sketchy, nervous type of serpent that you don't want to tangle with. Pseudonaja magdanon. Now this is one of the species that our other old mate, the king brown or mulga snake, would eat if he had the opportunity. And these guys can be so many different colours and patterns, it's really hard to distinguish sometimes. Have a really black head, or they can have a really pale head. They can be brown all over, cream all over. Once again, he's another diurnal daytime snake that becomes nocturnal in the summer months. And he loves eating rodents. And he'll also eat little mulgaras So you can see obviously he's a slippery customer, this guy. He doesn't like sitting still. He's a very nervous, twitchy snake, quite a fast moving snake. And these are the ones that will come into your house in search of rodents. So if you have chickens, if you have budgies and birds with bird seeds, etc., they will attract mice, and mice will attract this snake. Just like his cousin, the common or eastern brown snake. They love to eat rodents. Awesome, there he goes off in his natural habitat. See him cruise through the spin effects like that, it's quite amazing. They just go through it or over it, weave through it, weave around it. Highly adapted, slender, fast moving, awesome. Pseudonaja, false cobra, but don't be fooled by the name. Definitely venomous. Woohoo! Western brown, one of the most venomous snakes in Australia. Out cruising around at night time looking for a feed. Awesome stuff. Let's go and see what else we can find. This is the mulga scrub, and there's a particular snake out here who's named after the scrub that he lives in. Alrighty, check out this ripper. This is the mulga snake. He's also known as the king brown. Now the king brown's not a great name for him, simply because he's from the black snake family. Now there are 8 species of black snakes in Australia, and the cool thing about black snakes is they eat the highly venomous brown snakes. So in the world, toxicity wise, he's about probably number 20 to 23, but he is considered one of Australia's more dangerous snakes because he's found in a lot of areas where people live. So he's the most widely distributed of all of our venomous snakes, and he's found in all states except for really Victoria and Tassie, where it's quite cool. Now down there you will get other venomous snakes. No one in Australia misses out on venomous snakes, and that's what keeps most of the Kiwis in New Zealand, because they don't have any venomous snakes or any snakes at all over there, so they're actually petrified of them, for good reason too. A bite from this snake you wouldn't want to get. It would definitely require medical treatment, and he is considered dangerously venomous. So they're primarily reptile hunters. They love amphibians as well. They have been known to eat birds and mammals also. So he's a bit of a bucket. They will eat just about anything, but he does have an immunity to some of our other venomous snakes' venom over thousands of years of evolution. So the venom from other venomous snakes might slow him down a bit, but he will still swallow them whole. He's the second largest species of venomous snake in Australia, reaching about 2.5 metres, about 8 feet. And the record for this snake is just over 3 metres, so that's a big snake. Now they do have quite a lot of venom. It's got one of the largest venom yields of all of our venomous snakes. So mulga snakes are egg layers. They lay up to 16 eggs, usually in the early spring to coincide the hatching with the summer. So the black snake family is not as toxic as the browns and the taipans because they hunt mammals and we are mammals. These guys prefer reptiles and amphibians, and the black snake family, about 8 species, depending if you want to divide the pygmy or not. Got the western pygmy mulga, the eastern pygmy mulga, which are actually found in the north. We've also got the spotted mulga snake in WA. Then we have this guy here, Pseudichus australis, is the most widely distributed. Then we have the blue-bellied black snake, the red-bellied black snake, and the really beautiful pink collet snake as well. So they're all from the black snake family. So he gets to over 2 meters, and the only other venomous snake in Australia that grows larger than this guy is actually the coastal taipan, which gets up and over 3 meters. There we go. That is the awesome mulga snake, also known as the king brown, but he's not a brown snake. And the mulga is the bush behind us. That's where he gets his name. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the mulga snake as much as I did. Please subscribe and join us on our next adventure, and I'll catch you next time. Well, have a look at this. This is something you don't see every day. This is one of Australia's most venomous snakes, the western brown. We've come across him and he's actually choked on a mouse, which is really bizarre. Now there are about 9 different colour phases. This one's got 14 incomplete bands around him. They can be black, they can be light coloured, they can have a black head like a black-headed python. They can have a really light coloured head as well. In the hotter summer months, if he wants to warm up quicker, he'll have a darker coloration. This guy's actually choked on a mouse, which is really bizarre, and I thought I just had to film this really bizarre occasion. So 2 things have happened here. He's either just choked on it and couldn't regurgitate it in time, or at the end of the trachea, when snakes swallow their prey, they push their trachea out of their mouth, and at the end of the trachea is a little glottis. It's a little valve which they breathe through. So he's either choked on it, he couldn't get his trachea out of his mouth, or maybe the mouse has bitten it, but who really knows. Typical characteristic with these brown snakes, also with the easterns and the westerns, are the orange blotches on the belly there also. And he's got more of a yellow marking around his face. Now I've also obviously got to be careful handling this snake. Even though he's dead, if my finger went inside his mouth and one of those fangs just scratched the surface of my skin, he could still quite easily envenomate me. And a bite from one of these snakes is potentially fatal without the right treatment. Who would have thought I seen the day where I saw a little mouse take out one of our most venomous snakes in Australia? Bizarre.